Hey everyone, it's Tony George, this ugly son of a bitch here. That's Griffin Murphy. We're from DocSports.com. We are in my man cave in the basement. The picture of the 200th sellout of the Nebraska Cornhuskers right there, who victorious in a bowl, Griffin.
Absolutely, Tony. Absolutely. Who would have thought?
There
Who
you
would have
go.
thought?
Yeah.
Nebraska. They should have been better. Should have been better. Quarterback. What the hell's going on?
First half line.
Oh,
Boom! 5-0 bowl run. We got bowls here. We're getting ready on New Year's Eve day to, Alabama, Michigan coming on in about 10 minutes. So we're going to slam through this. This is the NFL opening line report. Now, Griffin has been AWOL on the Doc's Gridiron six-pack because he's been splitting time between Chicago and Vegas and the holidays. So we haven't been able to bring you an edition of that, especially with the season winding down and the bowl games and everything. So Griffin's going to kick in initial reactions to the opening lines, which we haven't seen. Okay, we were busy watching Detroit stomp San Francisco last night.
ridiculous.
And hammering a 7-unit prop play on Amon St. Brown anytime touchdown score last night. We were celebrating, dude.
Oh, we were celebrating, baby. It was St. Brown. And you didn't even know you hit it.
No,
you didn't even know you hit it. His second touchdown.
Yeah.
Tony looks at me. He goes, wait a second. He's already got one.
Yeah, he had an end around. But yeah, we had people in the bar jumping on board, betting that from their phones. Had a good time. So nonetheless, these are initial reactions and just opening thoughts on Griffin, what is a very dangerous week in the NFL. A lot of games don't mean jack crap, and other games bear a lot of meaning, and that doesn't mean that they come easy, even though Team A playing Team B, Team A might be good, and Team B might be just a piece of dog dung.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, there's a lot of volatility this week.
Absolutely, Tony. I couldn't agree more. I mean, we're going to see a lot of backup quarterbacks. We're going to see a lot of second-string players, a lot of rookies getting opportunity. But at the same time, these lines that do come out, which I have not checked, I'm very suspected to see how these drop out coming into this week.
Now, we've talked about, and of course, this is interactive. You leave your comments on what you think, your teasers, your money lines, whatever you think, and we'll go ahead, and after I go in the back end and approve them, we got to weed out the F-bombs, the links to porn sites, the other handicapping companies that come in with their link to the Super Lock and Millennium page because they don't have enough, gusto to go out and get their own clients. They're trying to poach ours. But nonetheless, once I approve those, we'll interact with you during the week. So go ahead and leave your comments. But one thing I will tell you is, and I think, Griffin, you'd agree with this is the week that if you're not exploring the prop market, that you need to explore the prop market.
Absolutely. I mean, we can jump right into this, and we can talk about Saquon Barkley. That's one guy in particular. I mean, Eagles, he's looking to break records right now, and that's one team. In fact, they already clinched that division, so they've already won it. Means nothing. You got Kenny Pickett playing. So how do you look at that game? And I'm very interested to see how that line comes out.
Pickett's got broken ribs. It might be McGee.
It is McGee. We talked about that last night. It is
might
McGee.
Be from Stanford.
We were at the pit last night. We had a couple. So
we solved all the world's problems and had every line figured out before we got home last night. And we Ubered. We're responsible. But nonetheless, ringing in the new year together with some bowl games today and tomorrow, some good food and some libations, so to speak. So let's take a look at these lines this week. But really, explore that prop market. I cannot stress that enough. We hit another that 7-unit last night. We've been nailing these things. 22 of them this year. Hit 17 of them. There'll be some this weekend. Now the Barkley thing, he needs 101 yards. Yeah. But did he really break the record? Because Dickerson did it in 16 games. Now there's 17 games. So he needs an extra game to get it. So will there always be an asterisk besides if he goes for it and gets it? Because he already ran for $137 or $147 against the Giants.
Yeah.
And that was in New York. So he could do it if he wants to. But do they want to play and risk him? Right. Offensive linemen? Any wide receivers blocking downfield? A.J. Brown, you want him to bust out a knee trying to get him a rushing record, which really, at the end of the day, it's about the team and not about the individual. And that's really some of the decisions as we tape this that we don't know. But let's go ahead and bring them up this week. And the first game on the Thursday nighter. Oh, this is Saturday. Pardon me. No more Thursday, no more Mondays. The Cleveland Browns at Baltimore. Now, Baltimore needs to win. To win the division. But 18 points. The Browns. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to pull up the Browns and this wonderful quarterback that they had last week. Let's go ahead, Griff, and let's share these passing numbers.
Bro.
Okay? Now, they had 162 yards, but he was 24 out of 47.
Not even 50%.
Wow.
Barely. 52%.
What? I mean, what does Cleveland, you look at these numbers, they had the same amount of first downs that Miami did. And by the way, Miami's going to be without Tua this week in a game they need. Hello. But all Baltimore wants to do here is secure a win. At what point in time are you going to risk Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews? At what time are you going to risk when you're up 21-0?
Tony, I'm just gonna go right off of this right now. Looking at a game like this, 18 points, regardless the aspect, I'm not touching that. I'm looking strictly at a total in this matchup.
Yep.
And my eye immediately lights up at the under. Cleveland can't score worth a damn. We just went over their quarterback situation.
Yep.
Their offense is atrocious to begin with. Immediately, this hits me as an under. Baltimore's got to win the game outright. It means nothing to Cleveland. Their season's over. Give me under 42.5.
There you go. Now, here's a big one. The Bengals.
Yeah, this is fun.
This is now, it has a lot to do with what happens with Kansas City and Denver, and that's an interesting scenario because Kansas City ain't going to play anybody. But Cincinnati -1.5 on the road, total 48.5 against the Steelers. Now, there's some meaning here for Pittsburgh and Baltimore and how you get seeded. And, of course, nobody's playing better at quarterback in the league right now than Joe Burrow.
Absolutely.
Even though they're a 500 ball club, now the line's up to 2 and 48, and Pittsburgh just off an absolute ass whipping that Kansas City handed them there. Sorry, Paul Rubio, my buddy. You know Paul, my Vegas boy.
Absolutely. His hands
flew
flew
all the way from Vegas, paid for VIP parking and club level to go watch the Steelers, and all year long he tells me they're going to throttle us. How'd that work out?
Well,
number 1 seed locked up, baby.
Well, Tony, I want to give you my initial thoughts. So going back when these two played each other, it was an absolute shootout. What was the score in their most recent matchup? 44-38, and that was the worst defensive output I have ever seen out of the Cincinnati Bengals. I will say the team's turned it around. Their defense looks better, and their offense, as you mentioned, Joe Burrow, best quarterback right now in the NFL. I love the Bengals in this play. -2, first initial thought, give me the Bengals, -1.5.
Well, not only was it that's a horrible defensive effort from Pittsburgh, too.
Yeah.
To give up that many, even in the win. So, yeah, that's crazy. 48.5, not getting near it. That's about right.
Not touching the total.
I could see both teams in the 20s here gunning for it. Jacksonville, Indiana. How does Jacksonville beat Tennessee twice? Tennessee needs to get rid of Callahan. And the Colts blow it.
Are you kidding me?
The Colts blow it.
Dude.
What is going on with the Colts? I mean, and Flacco threw for over 300. Still lose. In a shootout, they made Drew Lock look like Joe Montana last week.
Dude, Drew Lock, I don't care what anybody says. Drew Lock is the best backup quarterback that you're going to find because in the locker room, the guys all say it. It doesn't matter if he's starting or backing up, regardless of the situation. The guy is the same guy. He's confident. You know, he's got the swagger. He comes out, and he was throwing absolute missiles. This game, Indy.
-5, total 45.5.
Give me the under, 45.5. I like the under 45.5. I'm not touching Indy. They already blew my teaser. I teased them 7.5 down just to win the game outright. Couldn't even get that done for me. Blew that. I had them with Tampa. I don't like them. I'm not laying them 5. I'm not laying 5. And Jacksonville, you don't know what the hell to expect from this team.
I'm going against you.
You like the over?
I like the over. Jacksonville's defense sucks, and you saw how bad the Colts defense was.
Absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, and they're just both going to just, gun for the rafters in this game because it means nothing. And this is Peterson's swan song. He's done. Are they going to bring him back next year as head coach? That defensive coordinator need to be tarred and feathered back in the 2 games in London they had.
Oh, my God. Don't even get me going with this.
That's the worst defense I've ever seen in my life.
Dude.
And Tennessee, how bad does Tennessee suck when they couldn't put up any points on them and move the frickin' ball? I don't care if it's Mason Rudolph or...
How many quarterbacks they got?
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Dude.
You put up 24 to 27 on them easy. What's wrong with that? Here's one. Buffalo, New England. Buffalo put it to the Jets, didn't they? Wow.
I mean, how do you not lay 3 with the Buffalo? I don't even care if all the backups are playing and this means nothing.
Trubisky's are back up.
You lay the points with Buffalo.
New England's, I heard they're not going to play May.
No, he got a concussion protocol in the last game. Or I don't know if it was concussion protocol, but he did get banged up and it was a bad play. It was a bad play.
With the Giants winning, that brings New England into the top 3 or 4 draft picks too. Do you really want to attempt to win this game?
Absolutely not. Lay the 3 points, Buffalo.
Give me Buffalo. Yep. Washington, Dallas. Washington's in. They're laying 4.5 on the road. Total 44.
Oof. I'm looking at a total immediately.
Boy. How can you bring McCarthy back after that effort last week against Philly against a second and a third string quarterback?
I've been saying this since he's been winning with Green Bay. This guy.
Aaron Rodgers is winning with Green Bay, not Mike McCarthy.
He ain't winning anymore. But my God, dude, give me a break with this Mike McCarthy. I have watched this guy coach for NFC North. I'm from Chicago. I've been watching this guy my entire life. That has got to be the biggest bonehead head coach in all of NFL. This game means nothing to Dallas. It means they're already eliminated. Washington. Give me a total on this play. I don't like laying the 4.5. It's just a weird number. Field goal.
44 is the total.
Under.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Washington beat them.
Covering. 4.5.
Yeah. 3-point ball game. Dallas is just so bad.
Who's Washington got starting at quarterback?
Man, we got problems here. You need to check and see what... Well, I don't have a backup for them right now, but...
It's got to be somebody solid. They drafted... You got Daniels as your quarterback, so they had to have plan B on action.
Dallas beat him the last game. Is that right?
That's the one we're looking at.
Yeah. Well, that's... Yeah.
Tony, I'm pulling this up. I got
24. Oh, that was Thanksgiving week.
I got to see who's starting.
That was Thanksgiving week.
I got to see who's starting in this game.
Pull it up.
I am. Washington. As of right now, it's Daniels. That's not going to be a thing. Oh, Mariota. He's good. He's a solid backup quarterback. He's had good seasons.
Again, give me Washington.
Yeah, that leans more Washington with me as well, and the under.
Giants in Philadelphia. At Philadelphia.
Giants +3. Drew Lock, come out again.
Total 38.5.
Means absolutely nothing to Philly. And Giants after that game, come on. Tracy looked great in the backfield despite his fumble issues all season long. Drew Lock was a stud. Neighbors all over the map. You can't cover him.
Let's
pull
this up.
McGee starting.
Let's pull this up for craps and giggles. Last game, Barkley ran 17 attempts for 176 yards.
55
he
yard
needs
long.
101. And he busted that long one for 55 yards in that game right down the sideline.
This is an underplay. They're going to run the ball all game. This is an underplay.
I'd lean under and do nothing else with it. if they want to get him the record, the second they get him the record, they're going to pull everybody. It'd take him about
What is the under? 38.5?
38.5. Give me the under.
Under and the Giants +3.
Here you go. There's your boys.
Green Bay and Chicago.
The Chicago Bears.
Give me the Bears +9.5 as the homer. Give me the Bears. I don't care because you know what?
Green Bay needs it for seeding, but let me tell you something about Green Bay. I was wrong about Green Bay.
I was wrong about Jordan Love.
I was wrong about Green Bay last week. I had them as a 7-unit play.
So did I.
You did?
I did.
I didn't know that. Okay, well, 40.5's the total. It's in Green Bay. 9.5. Now, listen, Green Bay's there's a seeding involved here.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game they need. It's down to 9. So you're lean on your beloved Bears.
I mean, dude, they've got to pull something off. I mean, you got coaching issues, you got offensive line, you got issues across the entire map, and the team they're not laying down because they have to figure out something as an organization. Getting beat by 9 here, is it realistic? Yeah, it could happen, absolutely.
2019.
That's what I'm saying. The Bears tend to keep it close when they're playing in divisional matchups. Now, granted, there's been several games where they haven't.
They haven't beat them in the last 5 years. Just been Green Bay.
Yeah, well, what's the cover on
Green Bay.
1-9 against the spread, head-to-head.
Oh.
I'm homering down. Give me the Bears. Remember, this is opening line report, ladies and gentlemen.
These aren't handicap picks.
No.
Big numbers, attractive.
Over 40.5.
Could be. Well, the last game was.
Bears are going to shoot out. They're going to do everything they can to score points.
Dude, they had 3 points on Monday.
They're going to do everything they can.
They had 3 points on Monday night against Seattle, whose defense sucks.
Thursday night football, by the way.
All right.
And that's always low scoring. All right? Always low scoring. We know this.
All right. All right. Carolina, Atlanta. Now, Carolina, I thought actually the way they've been playing and covering might have given Tampa Bay a game. Tampa Bay made a statement in that game. Now, I had the over in that game for my premium play, but they have really played some good football.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield.
Down the stretch. Mayfield has been unbelievable. Now, Atlanta still has an outside shot to win the division if Tampa Bay is going to beat the Saints.
Of course.
I mean, you know.
There's a lot of if factors, but yeah.
8.5's the number with Penix. Looked good against Washington. Made some big-time NFL throws.
Loved him in Washington.
Because they kind of threw him to the wolves here the last 2 games. And he has, and he does have things to work with. I think they may have been more successful with him in the mix all year long versus Kirk Cousins, who wasn't healed up from that Achilles injury and just didn't have it this year, whether he couldn't plant with his foot. If you're just a little bit off in the NFL, you're screwed. So, but Penix dropped some dimes in that game, looked good, athletic. Carolina, 8.5. Everybody's going to be pounding Atlanta in a quote-unquote game they got to win.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take Carolina, total 48.
I'm on the same play as you.
Yep. I lean Carolina. Bear in mind, there's going to be like 2 games I'm going to bet this entire weekend.
I'm on the same
Saturday and Sunday.
There's too many if factors. There's too many liabilities.
Yeah.
We have too many situations to where if this team wins, this team's out. This team wins, this team's out. Seeding, everything else. You got to be real sharp this weekend. But next game, go ahead, Tony, rip it up.
Houston, Tennessee. Houston on the road, +1, total 38.5.
Looks like a trap bet to me. Take Tennessee -1.
I'll take Houston, and I'll bet you a nickel.
I mean, we're doing opening line here. We're betting on this. We're
Yeah,
going nickel
right out of the gate.
Right out the gate. You want to lay that?
That's a big boy balls bet. Come on.
All right, look at the
I'll
total
tell you what,
first.
Houston,
Look at the total first, and then we'll get back to that.
Yeah, well, the total's 38.5, and the line's only 1. But here's the deal. I saw the press conference for Houston's head coach, and they're playing so bad right now that he told his starters to get ready to play. You got to put something together, get some get some rhythm
I'm
and
looking
some
at this
cohesion
number.
going. Tennessee couldn't beat Jacksonville.
No, I know, and they don't got a damn quarterback. They have nobody.
They got nothing.
Yeah,
They
but
got
what
nothing. They
the
can't
hell
even
is
get
Houston
Ridley the
playing
ball.
for?
They can't get rid of the ball. Pollard's hurt. They got that Spears kid out of Tulane in there. He's 5'7", he's about your size. You might even weigh more than him. He's getting beat up all over the place like a pinball. Give me Houston.
I'm on the other side. I'm laying it. I'll bet you that nickel.
There we go. You got it, folks. New Orleans, Tampa Bay. Here's one I don't want anything to do with. 13.5, total 43.5 at Tampa. They got to win. They're like the Ravens. They need to win it, but they're not going to break. They're not going to break a sweat winning it.
I see them winning by 10. They're going to lay off the gas as soon as they get a two touchdown lead.
New Orleans can't do it. When you get beat by the Raiders at home,
is Radler starting?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tampa Bay.
Well, I'm
not laying it.
I don't. They're not. What are they going to put Carr in there and ruin him for the? No.
Give me the 13.5.
There you go. You're going to take 13.5.
Yeah.
Now, something here, a strategy you might want to use. Tampa Bay. Let's go back to these big spreads.
You getting some teasers?
No. Tampa Bay, Baltimore. These big spreads in these games. Atlanta, another one. Green Bay. I know you took Chicago.
I'm homering down.
Think about those first half lines, cutting them way down.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's going to come in here. They're going to get a comfortable lead.
Yeah,
your first half line. So your first half line there's going to be 8, 7. You don't think they can be up on New Orleans by a touchdown at halftime? Come on.
No, that's a.
Gimme.
I like where your head's at.
San Francisco, Arizona. Ooh. Arizona laying 3. Arizona should have beat the Rams.
So I'm going to tell you, this game right now, it's meaningless to both teams.
3.5,
Arizona,
total 43.5.
They have been pesky all season long. And you called this before anybody, before preseason, about San Francisco and how they are going to be nothing this year.
And what else? In the same game, what I say about Arizona?
They're going to be legit.
You got to keep an eye on them.
So both of these teams going at it right now, meaningless game, but both teams are going to come out throttling. The issue, though, is Connor's been hurt. He's been banged up.
Yeah.
Are they going to play him? And how much are they going to play him is the real question.
And they pulled Purdy last night. They probably should have played Dobbs. By the way, when I said Arizona, I said not from a win-loss perspective, but a cover perspective. And they're 10-6 against the spread this year.
And they've been in it.
And San Francisco's 5-11.
Arizona, I'd lay the 3.5.
Yeah. After last night, San Francisco's going to throw it in. That's it. They shot their wad last night trying to beat Detroit. They got gutted. Gutted. Seattle -5 at L.A. L.A.'s already in. They've won the division.
Walker out? Yeah, he's not going to play. They're not going to play him.
I don't know what L.A.'s going to do there.
Well,
total 39. Seattle managed 6 points
the public's
against Chicago's
going to want you all
defense.
over the under. The public's
it just dropped down to 4.5 as we speak.
Public's going to be all over the under.
Yeah.
I think this is a trap flip. Over 38.5. Los Angeles is still elusive. It doesn't matter. They're still elusive. And they got guys like Tutu Atwell. They've got guys, speedsters, that can break.
I'd use L.A. I'd use L.A. in a teaser and get them
It just
10.5.
dropped 4.5.
Yeah, I know. I'd use L.A. in a teaser. Are we done with Aaron Rodgers?
Dude, this guy. Oh, I almost just dropped. Jeez.
The New York Jets are a 1-point underdog against Miami, who needs a win, but we got to go with the backup quarterback.
Under 40.5.
40.5
I don't
under.
want anything to do with it.
Get rid of it. Las Vegas +5 against the Chargers, who,
I'd lay the 5 with the Chargers.
41.5 is the total.
Although that Aiden O'Connell's been playing pretty good. I'd lay the 5 with the Chargers. Total 41.5.
What was that the first time around? They put it to them 40-7. Oh, that was last week. 22-10 Chargers back on September 8th. And there was a totally different team for it. You had Gardner Minshew. You know, you had a healthy Dobbins. I mean, you had all kinds of different things going on.
I want to know who's getting the start at quarterback.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm going to pull it up.
Okay. We know who's starting for Vegas. Yeah. Be sure and get over to DocSports.com, by the way, folks, as we're talking to you. Free $60. Link in the description below or a tab on the website. And we'll park $60 in any new account. And it comes with a profit guarantee and 0 strings and 0 hassles. Be sure and get a year-end football package. Our playoff packages will be up there. Playoffs are easier to handicap than the regular season. Heineke's not bad.
No, he's not at all. And he's a great backup quarterback, dude. Sparks. He just can't start.
Yeah.
Now it's 5.5.
These lines are swinging as we talk.
I'd lay it 100%. Remember, just off the top of the head.
Yep. Kansas City, Denver. Holy Shiite Muslim. 10. They got to win. Denver's got to win.
I'm still taking the points with the Chiefs. I don't care who's
39.
starting. I don't care who's starting.
Carson Wentz.
I'm taking the Chiefs. Chiefs keep every game close no matter who's playing. It doesn't matter. They just always find a way to win. You're getting 10 points with a team that's got 1 loss all season. Give me the Chiefs.
Man.
You going to lay the 10 with Denver?
No.
What about
39's a total.
I can't pick the total. I don't like the total. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Take the 10. Yeah, I would lean that a little bit. Here's the big one.
Yeah.
Minnesota disrespected again. Detroit -2.5. Now these two teams, Minnesota 11-4, 1 push against the spread. Detroit 11-5. Now, both of them off huge wins. Both of them drained the tank in those wins. Both quarterbacks perform well. All-star wide receivers on both teams. Addison's really been a nice addition for Minnesota. Has done a nice job.
I'm asking myself here, who's got the better defense?
Total 56.5.
Detroit banged up.
They couldn't stop Purdy. They couldn't stop.
Yeah, what would they do to Green Bay last week? That pass rush was absolutely incredible. Are we going to see that in this game?
Number 1 seed and a bye on the line and the division title.
And you got Gibbs and Montgomery in the backfield, absolute fly. St. Brown. Minnesota going to be able to keep up? Who's the better coach? Let me ask you that.
Okay, so we both had Green Bay last week. Getting into the mind of a handicapper in quote-unquote retrospect. So did we overestimate Green Bay or did we underestimate Minnesota? I know how I feel about it.
Overestimated Green Bay.
Yes. You go back down and start taking a look at the games that Green Bay won, going back 7, 8 games, they hadn't beaten anybody.
Mm-mm. And they got put to the real test, and what happened? They got bulldozed until the late second half.
And what pisses me off, too, about this is the Detroit Lions. All I'm hearing about is Lamar Jackson and Allen from Buffalo for MVP. What about Jared Goff?
Best season I've ever seen.
If he's not in the conversation and a front runner, something's wrong.
He's got 1 or 2 picks all season long with what? 20 plus touchdowns?
Ridiculous.
What you broke down a stat to me 3 weeks ago, two weeks ago. What was it? It was his passing yards. You remember what I'm talking about? It was passing yards. It was a statistical number.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. He had more touchdowns in 3 weeks than he had incompletions.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Just saying. You know what? All things being equal, I'd definitely be using Minnesota in a teaser.
I wouldn't touch this game. I would be looking at a total and I'd be looking at that under 56.5
I
points.
would too. I think people think it's going to be an absolute shooter. I tell you what, team with a better defense is Minnesota.
Agreed.
Quarterbacks, not even, but Darnold's better than he's getting credit for.
He's great when he has pass protection.
Yep, when he does, and Detroit can't get any pressure on him. Not right now.
Too banged up defensively.
Minnesota looked a lot better in their win than what Detroit did. They both look good.
I don't like the
This
2.5.
is going to be one for the record books.
I lean the 2.5 with Minnesota, but I like the total.
Give me the tees. Tease them to 8.5. Get them through 3, 6, 7. Those are key fall numbers.
love
I'll
that.
take that teaser. And let me put that teaser.
I'm
Let's
actually
find a
jumping on
really
that.
good team here. We didn't the Miami New York Jets game we're going to talk about. I could only take Miami there because the Jets suck.
Yeah.
Nice job, Aaron Rodgers, benching yourself. Just took yourself out of the game like you're King B.
He needs
Go
another ayahuasca
away.
trip. He needs another ayahuasca
Yeah,
trip.
yeah. Go pop some shrooms. And I would take. I tell you what I would do. The teaser of the week here. I would take Minnesota up to 8.5, and I would
Go back down. Down one more.
I could do that one.
Give me 20.5.
20.5 with New Orleans, and I would put them with Atlanta down to 2.5 to beat Carolina. Get them through 7,
Outright
get them
win.
through 6, get them through 3 under the fall number of 3.
Would you tease that game?
I wouldn't get near that Bears team of yours if somebody had a gun to my head. Doc Sports is the place to be. He's Griffin Murphy. I'm Tony George. And by the way, we want to thank you for tuning in all year long to the Gridiron Six-Pack.
Absolutely.
We had a good time. We'll do it again next year. And, of course, we have daily free play videos right here. So be sure and thumbs up and subscribe on Doc's website, on Doc's YouTube page. And so you get notified when Griff, myself, or any of the guys have free picks or shows up here on the YouTube page so you don't miss the freebies. Our picks will be out Thursday in the NFL, so be sure and get over to Doc's on Thursday past, 4 Central, and we'll have our picks up. Bowls going on. New Year 2025. Things are looking great.
It's going to be a day.
That's going to be a day. It's going to be a year. We got the heat of the conference action in college basketball now. It's full-time, daily. Get over there. Check it out. Doc Sports, thanks for tuning in.